Hey everybody, it's Megan. I am here to talk about our March Take and Make Craft project. It's our spring gnome. This is the finished product. This is our little spring gnome here with his basket of flowers. He is very adorable. I just love this little gnome, and even though he looks like he might be difficult to make, he is not. It's a no-sew project, so I'm really excited to show you how to make him and follow along. And when you open your packet, you're going to see all your materials, except for rice. If you have that, you're going to use dry rice or dry beans. A cup to a cup and a half you'll need of that. We've got pipe cleaners in your packet, some flowers, flowers for a little basket, a little flower here for his gnome hat, felt for gnome hands, the wooden ball for the nose. The smaller purple material is for his arms. We've got his furry beard and a rubber band. The triangle, the gauzy triangle is for his hat, and then the larger purple piece of felt for his body. Okay, so now we can start our first step of getting all our felt materials and other materials together to glue the seams together. I cut out the hands first of all, and I just made them little like mitten shapes. Doesn't need to be anything too exact, that's just fine. And then we've got our hat, our sleeves, and our body. So we're just going to use our tacky glue to make our seam for our body first on the felt. It does have this part at the bottom where one side is longer than the other. That's on purpose to fold up on the bottom. So basically you can just use your tacky glue and make a strip of glue all the way down. Try not to have any gaps. And also I would say try to keep it pretty close to the edge. And then you just need to do it on one side, and then you can just fold over. Fold your felt over like that. And then on the bottom here, I'm just going to do the same thing with putting a seam with our glue for the bottom part. And we're putting rice in this, so we want to make it pretty tight so that there aren't any holes in there. And we're just going to fold that seam up. And basically this is our body of our gnome. We do need to wait for this to dry. We're going to set that aside. We're going to do the same thing with the sleeves that way. We're just going to glue our seam all the way down our sleeves, right along the edge. You only need to do it on that long edge. We'll set those aside. Same thing with the hands. You do not need to do it too well on the hands, but just make sure that there is a space where the wrist might be so that we have a pipe cleaner that we need to put in there. And then the hat, same thing. We're just going to all the way around except for the bottom edge of the hat. We're going to want to put our seam of glue. Once we have our seam all the way around the hat except for the bottom part, we can just press down. And we're going to leave all those pieces to dry. I'm going to say at least a half an hour, but maybe a little longer, maybe to an hour. And you're just going to want to wait until when you try to pull it apart from inside, it stays really, really fast. So, and I kind of like to sit there and press down on it as well, especially on the felt. Or you could put something on it like a book or something to kind of press that seal, and then we'll check back soon to see if they're dry. Okay, so I did end up waiting almost an hour, but it seems like it's dry now. So, and Probably a half an hour, it might have been okay too. I just wanted to make sure it was fully dry. And then we can just turn it inside out. And when you do that, just make sure there's no holes, because we are putting rice in here, so we don't want any holes for any rice to be able to come through. And mine seems good, so I don't need to do any touch-ups. If there's holes, just do a little touch-up, and then you have your gnome body, and we can pour the rice in. So I ended up using a cup and a half of rice for the body. I just poured the rice into my tube, my purple tube, using this funnel I made to make it easier. And then once we have our body ready, I'm just going to use this rubber band to tie it up. Just like that. Easy enough. And you're going to want your body to be kind of tall enough for when you have your beard. We're going to glue it on almost to the top of the rubber, almost to where the rubber band is. And so you want his beard to sort of graze the floor just like that. So that's a good height. And once we have our arms ready, we're doing the same thing. We're just putting those inside out as well with the arms. It's a little trickier than the body, but it can be done. But just make sure your glue is real dry for that. And then we're just putting our pipe cleaner in through our arms. And then you can stick the end of the pipe cleaner just into your little hands at the top. It doesn't have to be really in well, because we can use glue as well to sort of fix that. So now we have our arm. Once we have our arms ready, we can glue them onto the back of our body. And we want them kind of like right there in the middle. So when you turn your gnome over, his arms are pretty long, so they can be coming down and ready to grab onto his basket. So just arrange them in the middle of his body and then glue them on and glue the hands on. Okay, now we're going to glue our beard onto our gnome body. I am attaching it right just a little bit under the top of the body where it's attached there and tied. So basically you're just, again, using your tacky glue. And you're going to glue your beard on. Once that's done, his beard will be just grazing the floor. Once you have your hat also turned inside out, I forgot to mention to do the seam at the bottom as well, to just glue it and glue the bottom with a little seam and turn it up so it looks more finished. And then I like to make little wrinkles in my hat too. That's kind of cute. So I'm just putting glue and then sort of folding my hat over. And you're going to have to hold on to this for a few minutes for the glue to set, to make little wrinkles in your hat. And I've included some polyfill in your bag, so you can just kind of stuff your hat up to the tip to make it stay upright on your gnome. And once we have the hat arranged how we want it on the top of our gnome, we can attach our basket. And hopefully your arms are long enough to reach your basket, so you're just going to glue your hands here and attach the basket to the felt hands. Once that's done, you can attach your wooden ball nose to your gnome beard just with a little bit of glue. And then I like to arrange his hat a little bit over his nose and have the hat kind of pulled down in the back so it points backwards a little bit. And then you can glue your hat down as well. And lastly, you can put your decorative flower on your gnome hat and then arrange some flowers that our gnome gathered into our basket, and that's it. We are done with our beautiful gnome. Thanks for watching my gnome tutorial today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you are as excited about spring as I am. I'll see you next time. Bye.